Hello, welcome back to another episode of Film Dissection, title pending. We're your hosts. I'm Yusef Shah.
I'm Bryan Jiminez. Nope. Damn, Tim. Damn, alright.
We're going to start that over again from the top. Welcome back to another episode of Film Dissection, title still pending. I'm your host, Yusef Shah. Oh, shoot. We're going to start that title again. Welcome, because I said I'm. We. Welcome back to another episode of Film Dissection, title still pending, and this is the first time we're recording this intro. We're your host. I'm Yusef Shah.
And I'm Bryan Jiminez.
And I'm Tim Gagen.
And today, what movie are we discussing, boys?
Jojo Rabbit by Taika Waititi.
We out here. So, this is great stuff. Y'all know the guy, you know that movie, Thor Ragnarok? Yeah, same guy. He made this one too. And let me tell you.
There's also a short film going around right now that's about animal activism called Save Ralph. That's voiced by him.
You sent me that in
yeah,
I think
Discord.
over Instagram. Or was it a Discord? Yeah, I need to check that out. I gotta check that out. So
good director. Definitely good director.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I'm really excited for the future.
Yep.
Very sure.
Nice upcoming director.
He's directing Love and Thunder as well, so I'm
really
excited for that. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So
he did a great job with Thor. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, this is gonna be lit. So
okay, I guess to give the audience a bit of a synopsis of what Jojo Rabbit is, just hearing the name, you kind of get thrown off. Like, what the fuck's a Jojo Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
The best way I would describe it is pretty much it's about a young Hitler Youth kid that is pretty much all about Nazis, all about Hitler, all about the Third Reich, basically. But inside his house, his mother sneaked in a Jewish girl. And I guess throughout the movie, he's kind of conflicted with his beliefs with Hitler and the Nazis and his experiences with this pretty funny and kind of nice Jewish girl. So it's pretty much like a battle of his inner conflicts, basically. But yet, the movie is funny. Like, it's actually pretty funny and it's touching in like a weird way, which I didn't see coming when I was first watching it.
Yeah, this movie definitely knows how to play with the audience's emotions. Because there's that, I put in my notes, like, this movie is genuinely really funny. It has really good historical humor, really good dark humor. It's really funny. But then at other times, it really pulls on your heartstrings a bit. And I love Taika's ability to do that. And I just think that's very interesting.
This movie's also, like, really stylized. It just, like, looks really pretty.
That is true. He likes colorful. He liked really good colorful skins. Really saturated colors. So, yeah, this is no different. Very, very Taika style, to say the least.
And basically, I would say the whole movie is just this big satire. I mean, everything is they're just making fun of the Nazis, basically. Like the Hitler part.
Director Taika himself plays Hitler, imaginary Hitler, and he himself is a Jew. Like, it's the biggest fuck you to the Nazis. And
for sure.
That ideology.
And we would like to start off by saying we here at Film Dissection Podcast hate Nazis with a burning passion. Fuck Hitler.
No Nazis are welcome.
No Nazis are welcome here. So we're
No
gonna
Nazis.
say fuck Hitler, fuck Nazis.
Clear now. You said it.
Fuck the Third Reich. And fuck Josh Whedon. We know he's not a Nazi.
With Josh Whedon.
We know he's not a Nazi, but he might as well. Exactly, he might as well be one. So.
One thing I do want to ask you guys is who was your favorite character throughout the whole film?
Jojo for sure. Jojo.
I think it's got to be what's his name? The retired general guy.
Oh, Captain K.
Klenzendorf?
Yeah, Captain K.
He's played by Sam Rockwell, if you guys are familiar with the actor. Really? Yeah. So I just want to clarify. He is gay, right? Like I'm pretty sure he's gay in the movie, right?
And him and Finkel. It was here's one I noticed, right? It was funny you say that. Because I saw Finkel sitting with, like, his legs crossed, but, like, all the way down, and he was going like this, and I was just like, something doesn't seem right here. And, like, they make it very subtle at the start.
Yeah.
But then, like, that was, like, the first time you really pick up on it. It's like, that's kind of a little strange. And then, yeah, they get together, which is why, like, I guess he doesn't really believe in the Nazis and all that.
But they just do it really well. Like, all that stuff.
It's very subtle.
It's subtle, but it's like it's just enough where it's like it's not. They're not like pushing for these characters to be gay just to be gay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it adds a little bit of character development as well as humor.
Yeah.
And just makes the overall characters and story even better.
Exactly.
Like just about accepting who people are for what they are and showing how this ideology is stupid and all that. So it really improves the story and it does it in a good way.
Yeah. And it also like kind of brings up that point of like everyone has their reason of why they're doing something, right? We might all be here for the same mission, but we're not all here for the same reason, you know? And that's just kind of like that kind of adds to it, and I think it's good. I like the addition, and Taika does a very good job with the subtlety. You know how I feel about subtlety, so he's good with does it very, very well. And he does it in a very funny way too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
One thing that when I was finished watching the movie the first time, I was kind of curious as to, I guess, understand the father in the movie better. Like we don't really go in depth as to who the father is or what he did, but we kind of get little glimpses of it. And like part of me just kind of wants to know like the backstory, like who was Jojo's father and how did he meet, his wife.
All we know is that he was a deserter, right?
He was
Like
rebelling
maybe.
against. I think he was like helping fight against the Nazis. I think he was aiding against them.
And
I'm gonna assume he died. I'm just gonna assume he died.
Sure
He definitely died.
He's for sure dead.
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
Nah, all right. So let's just start at the top and just kind of go through the story and just talk about things we like, things we didn't like, things that made us think a bit deeper, some like symbols we made us saw, and let's just kind of just go through it. So, let's just start at the top with Jojo's little speech to himself in the mirror. And I would like to say is two things I picked up on is one, I don't know if you ever see Meet the Robinsons, but Jojo looks like a blonde Michael Yagubian from Meet the Robinsons. And I also put down, is he schizophrenic? Because he just kind of talks to Hitler like in his room. So like, it kind of makes me think.
I feel that's a stretch because he is a kid, and like kids are kind of known for having this really like, big imaginary like this perception of the world. So I feel he's a kid. So I don't want to say it's schizophrenic just yet. Maybe after he got like hit by that bomb, yeah, maybe. But up until that point, I don't think so.
We know some stuff about Jojo. We know one, he doesn't have a lot of family. It's his sister. He knows for a fact that his dad and his sister are both dead, and he's constantly told by other people that his dad died for the Nazis.
I don't know if he knows his dad is dead. I think his mom knows he's dead, but I don't think she ever told him that he's dead. Because he didn't even he barely knows his father because they didn't talk about him much. And I think with his ideals at the time, he didn't really believe it. Because he didn't want to accept that reality or whatever. And so, I don't even think he really knew if his father was alive or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows if his father's alive or not, but he knows his father's... I think he does know his father's not coming back, though. Because he is told point blank that his father was a deserter. Like, he joined the army and then deserted. So, I think he does know that he's not coming back at the very least. So, he knows his sister's dead. And, he actually even knows how his mom feels about the whole Nazi situation. Because they go through a little argument saying, that little dinner scene where he's yelling at her, he's like, why are you happy that we're losing the war? Do you not have, patriotism in your own country and stuff like that? So he's kind of trying to find this identity, behind, the Nazis and, the whole little Nazi Boy Scout thing. So, anybody else doesn't have a lot of friends. He only has Yorkie. That's his only friend. He's not so I wouldn't.
Yorkie's a ride or die, bro.
He really is a ride or die. So I wouldn't be surprised if this kid has some, mental issues and schizophrenia being one of them. I feel like there's definitely evidence to support this claim. But let's move on. I said it
my mind's going blank a little bit. I'm trying to remember what happened.
I said it must have been out of pocket as fuck to film that Hail Hitler opening scene.
It's a great introduction. They also that's the one part where they use real footage from World War II of Nazi Germany, kind of showing the patriotism at the time, the crazy hype these guys. They play the Beatles and these like Germans are treating like Hitler like the biggest boy band of the time. They're just idolizing him, and that's the one time they have the real footage, which is a good contrast of like the reality of things and how this strong propaganda has really turned people to believe so heavily into this person and his twisted ideologies.
Yeah.
Which is a big theme in the story with Jojo, with his identity and all the others around him.
I like how they gave Hitler blue eyes. Like I was like, wait, I literally had to Google that. I was like, did Hitler have blue eyes? I was like, he definitely didn't have blue eyes, and I had to look it up.
Yeah, Hitler was like...
that's like Jojo's version of Hitler.
Yeah,
because we probably thought that.
Oh, apparently Hitler has 4 balls, according to the movie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Totally.
Common misconception that Hitler has 1 ball. This is wrong. He actually has 4. And I'm just like, yeah.
The dialogue in this movie is great.
The Gestapo.
I know, bro. It's just like, you know what's funny? I like how they use British actors to play Germans. Like, it's just like, it's funny because with Yorkie and Jojo, it was like quite clear that like they weren't actually like German. Like with that, because you could hear the British accent like under like that quote unquote German accent. But like they're kids, so like I don't like mind it. It doesn't really take out the story, but I just find it so funny. Like
the way it's presented together, I don't think anyone would really care too much about the accents.
Exactly.
Being that's a satire and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was fine.
It's funny. Yorkie even looks Jewish, and I'm surprised like he's never like questioned about that. Like it's like you actually just like look at the way he looks. Like
why you built like that?
Yeah. So yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Oh, the Nazi Boy Scout scene
with
the
trainee. I like how he'd say, "Oh, so the guys are gonna learn how to blow shit up, how to shoot guns, you're gonna hold knives, and then the women are just gonna learn how to do womanly duties, like have babies,
how to get pregnant."
I was out of pocket. I was like, oh
my god, Rebel Wilson in this movie. She's like, oh yeah, but for 18 aliens or something like that. That was too funny, bro. Like that is so. It was weird. It was so weird to see her in this movie, but after seeing her in this movie, it's like she kind of like she fit in this movie very well. Like it's just like
there's no bad roles in this movie. Everyone does.
Oh, the casting was amazing.
The casting was great, bro. Oh my god,
great.
Rebel Wilson trying to play a Nazi. It's just like, for those of you who haven't seen this movie, you guys know who Rebel Wilson is. You know, Pitch Perfect. Imagine her trying to play a Nazi. Like, whatever you and thinking like it would be, that's exactly what it is. And it's just the funniest thing ever. When she's like, when the Americans come and invade, and she just has the gun, and she's just going out there spraying.
She was always packing heat, bro. At all times.
The one gun to the kids, like,
oh, yeah.
If they don't look German, go and shoot at them.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The gun she handed him did not look like no type of 1940s gun. That gun was advanced as hell. I'm like, yo, I don't think they even sell those now. Where did you get that from? She handed her.
I think my favorite scene with her was like when Jojo is at the pool and he's like just met the girl, and he's like reconsidering things and he's asking them about, I think, Jews or something, and with Captain K, and then Rebel Wilson comes over and is like, yeah, my uncle, what was it?
You think he drowned, right? And they blamed the Jew like, for it, like, what?
Yeah, he went for a Jew in it, and he had a gambling problem, and then drowned, and it was all the Jews' fault.
Totally unrelated.
Blame the Jew, right, yeah.
Yeah, this shit's crazy, bro, but oh my god, yeah, Rebel Wilson's an amazing movie.
I find it hard for someone to actually get offended by the movie. Like, the topics that are being discussed are, like, pretty, like, serious, but, like, I just don't see anybody, like, going out and say, like, yo, this movie was offensive as fuck.
I mean,
how is this out? There might be one person, but just, like, it's just so, like, it's so funny and so, like, you get it. It's a joke. Like, come on.
It's very clear that it's not, like, idealizing Nazis. It's, like, very obviously making fun of them.
Yeah,
for
for
how
sure.
Stupid it is. Like, that's literally the whole movie. But some people obviously get offended because they don't understand that.
Yeah, so, you know, it's all good. But Taika, I think this movie, and no one's canceled it yet, so, like, it's all good.
It better not be canceled, dog.
So
we're gonna lose faith in humanity if that happens.
But yeah, like we'll say, I think we can skip most of the beginning because the movie it's just kind of pure comedy until he meets the girl, and then that's like when the story really starts getting. So let's pick up from.
What was her name again? Because I wanna.
Oh, Elsa is the Jewish girl. Inya is his sister.
Elsa.
Or Inga.
Elsa.
Yeah, Elsa. Yeah. But Elsa and Inga were friends in whatever school they went to.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's what
must have missed that.
Mention. No, she mentions it. She says, "Yeah, me and your sister were friends."
Yeah. Just flew right over my head. I just completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's crazy that they looked so much alike as well.
Right.
Yeah, like I feel like that's super convenient.
I think it probably played a role in like the mother like deciding to like get her like inside his house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he kind of looked too much like my daughter. Like I'm gonna feel guilty if I don't help you out.
Yeah.
But it is also just his mom's like good and kind-hearted.
That too. I mean, yeah, the mother is just great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that, bro. When Jojo takes the grenade out of Captain K's hand and he tries to throw that at John and it smacks off the tree and blows up, I was like, damn, this nigga. The fact that first things first, I would like to say, how did he not die? Number one.
That was way too close.
Bull came out with like 4 scars on his face. I'm thinking his shit's about to be all drooped and like melted off. I'm thinking, oh, kid's done for. Bull got
hella lucky.
Like, that shit was crazy. All he ended up with a limp and a couple scars on his face. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like from that scene, you kind of really understand kind of how sad his character, like, it's kind of weird, but like, Jojo himself is like a very sad character. Like, you kind of get that vibe from this, like, just from like after that scene, like, kids just watched him like almost blow up and die, and instead of like going to help him, like, they just still make fun of him like afterwards, like, look like a freak and all this stuff, and it's just like he doesn't even want to leave his own room because he's afraid of like the way he.
And this was right after he was doing training, and the older kids picked on him.
Yeah, they bullied him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they wanted him to kill a rabbit, and he couldn't do it.
And he tried to let it go, and it's just like, damn, he really does look such a kind heart. Like, just like at the end, like, I don't know, it was just like.
You can tell he's a good kid, but he is so enthralled in the Nazi ideology.
Like, yeah, like most kids at that time, right?
Yeah, because, they push that.
They don't know better.
Yeah, they don't know better. Push it onto them. And again, like, he's just trying to be like as a kid with no friends, he's just trying to be a part of something and like trying to give his life, I guess, purpose. Because with the lack of friends, lack of like real family, and like all those he's lost, he's just trying to cling on to something so he can actually like be a part of something for once. Like, and like you kind of understand it, like, you know, and it's just like.
Maybe it's just an idea, but maybe the fact that his father's known as a deserter and kind of like a quitter, maybe that kind of like motivates him to not be like that and be like 100% down with it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that might be it, or part of it at least.
Yeah, honestly, that's like that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like his dad. He gets bullied for his dad, so he doesn't want to be like his dad because he gets bullied for it.
Yeah. I could agree with that. But yeah, after that he meets Inya. Inga.
Elsa.
Elsa. That's right.
You're the one that told us.
Yeah, that's my fault. And this is where like the double story kind of started, because I talk about as I wrote down was the dual story. How there's kind of 2 stories going on. You kind of see like Jojo's character developing, and then like Elsa's backstory being revealed. Those are like the 2 stories kind of going on, and that's kind of like where it starts. And his sister, my theory here is when she mentions that Elsa, Inga, she was friends with Inga. My question was Inga killed for protecting Elsa? And then maybe so was Jojo's father?
I never really thought of how she died. I just kind of accepted like, oh, okay, cool, she died.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like have that. I don't think it's much meant to be thought about much. Just that it's kind of like there.
I mean, it makes you think, because we know.
Yeah.
Why was her sister killed? We know she's a German woman, not of Jewish descent. So.
I mean, this is my best guess. It's some sort of disease, because I know there was a lot of sickness back then. And, not a lot of treatment for it. So I would assume it's something like that. But who knows?
I don't think the way that she dies is very important, but I think it's just important the fact that she did die, and then they can relate more to Elsa and her family. Yeah. There's probably more I can say, but I just can't think right now.
So, this house is so large yet so empty. Honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but I kind of just want to talk about like relationships between characters, then really just kind of go through the story section by section. Cause I think there's not really much to say about the story itself without just like recapping it for the audience. But I think honestly, if we just talk about character relations, just really just suss that, we can probably get more out of that. So I think that's what I think we should do. So let's just start with the obvious one. Let's do Jojo and his mother. Let's talk about their relationship and maybe deeper meanings behind that, and just maybe some details with those characters. So what were your thoughts about it?
So you want to go first?
I mean, I just think that it's done really, really well, because there's a majority of the time they're kind of conflicting, where Jojo is super pro-Nazi and his mom is very clearly against it, but she can't be like
full out against it,
totally against it, but she's like hinting at him. It's like, hey, this stuff's stupid. It's like she's like just like obviously not helping the war front. She's like just doing her own thing throughout the movie, and like you said, Jojo's upset about that, but she's just trying to be a mother and try to teach Jojo like how life should be. And I remember later on in the movie, Jojo's like, how can you do something in a war? And it's like, or I can't remember, but she's like, this isn't what like life's about. Life isn't about war. Life's about love and all that. And she has a lot of good messages for Jojo throughout the movie.
Yes.
And there's a really good dynamic for this young kid who is pro-Nazi and her who being obviously against it.
I agree. I think that's just like some interesting things about the character is like how she tries to tell Jojo like there's more to life than just like
war and guns, right?
Yeah, but it's also like just how the two characters act, because Jojo's like character is very like mature for his age. Like he's almost like imitating. He's clearly a child, but his character is imitating an adult, while his mother is clearly imitating a child. The roles are very reversed, which is like
why Jojo's trying to be like a soldier. He wants to because his idols are to Hitler, and he wants to be like a big soldier or whatever. And his mom, kind of like Captain K, are against the war, and they're like just living their life, enjoying and doing what they can, and trying to be as like not helpful to the war as they can be.
Question: do you think Captain K knew that she was kind of like not with the Nazis, or he was like,
sure because he got I think they know him and her and Captain K like know stuff about each other, because when Jojo got hit with the grenade, he's like, oh, his mother's gonna kill me. So like yeah like
that was funny.
They're clearly tight about some stuff. And she walked into the office like ready, like he was like, oh damn, here it comes. Like he didn't want no smoke with her, like whatsoever. So yeah, he definitely knew for sure. And like he probably knew his mom was about that action too. That's the only reason he'd be scared like that. Like his mom for sure was about some type of action.
You think his little I guess his second in command knew about it as well?
I would assume
since they were pretty close.
Yeah, I would assume like he probably knew as well.
Alright.
Just didn't like stayed out of it as much. But yeah, I think that they have a very interesting relationship in terms of like Jojo's trying to grow up while his mother's trying to keep him young and trying to kind of bring him back down to reality. And like what I thought was very interesting is just how their mother and child relationship is very atypical from our idea what like a mother-son relationship is, because like they're very sarcastic with each other. They're very like, I think that's part of like the German humor. I know like Schadenfreude kind of like laughing at other people's pain or like laughing at like other people's sarcasm. And she like, you kind of like, instead of like when Jojo was upset about something, instead of her just being like, oh, it's okay, it's not the big of a deal, she would kind of just make fun of him for it. And then that was just kind of like their way of bonding, like almost. And I just think that this very that just attention to detail I thought was just very cool. And well, that was very interesting. Yeah. So what did you guys think about that? Just like in terms of just like how they acted around each other, like what she was trying to show Jojo, and like how Jojo would like kind of react to like the things she did.
One I guess theory that I had is the reason Jojo is so like adult like in his behavior is because he kind of like assumed the role of like the man in the house basically.
Yeah.
And the mother was, like you said, the mother's pretty much a child, so it's like a weird like reverse.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right. And I wrote down a note saying his mother may be schizophrenic as well. Cause hold on,
bro, what's so much, bro? Schizophrenia.
I'm just thinking everyone's schizophrenic. I'm gonna wait for Yusef to get back.
Yusef's talking to his O.
I'm sorry about that. Women talking to me. What can I say, man?
What was I gonna say? Oh, schizophrenia. I don't think anyone's schizophrenic. I just think that it's this dumb kind of almost being theatrical and
it is
expressing for a movie. Like this is like a satire, so it's not supposed to be too like this isn't Taxi Driver over here. There's attention to detail, but not in that way.
You say that, but there's a lot of symbols in this movie and a lot of things that have deeper meanings, like the cigarettes.
Oh yeah, there definitely is.
The rabbit.
I just don't think in that way. I don't think in that way, or he's schizophrenic. I mean, maybe it's a movie; it's up for interpretation. But I just think that's like with Hitler, that's definitely his imagination. I don't think he's schizophrenic. That's just how they're portraying it.
Well, maybe not like schizophrenic per se, but like those are just like little things that like seem like that. Like I think like I see a lot of directors do to like play it off as a joke, but usually end up having more meaning than people actually take them granted for, and that's why I think like there is some stuff there because Jojo goes through a lot of pain and torment, but so does his mother. His mother losing her husband, losing her daughter, and her son's a raging Nazi. It's like. And she's trying to like keep that positive attitude all the time. She's hiding a Jewish girl in her house. She has a lot of worries on her, a lot of pain in her, and she drinks a lot. We know that she is a huge alcoholic.
But she hides like she's got emotionalized. She obviously has a lot of loss with her husband and daughter, and Jojo is all she has. But she's kind of suppressing that sadness and being very upbeat and happy for Jojo and Elsa.
Yeah, she's great at hiding it.
Yeah.
Definitely great at hiding. I mean, she has to be good at hiding stuff.
Yeah. But she's with all the scenes we get with her, she plays off the comedy bits very well, and also there's a lot of good emotional bits with her that both are perfectly done.
Yeah.
It's a good mixture.
When was this? This movie came out, what, 2019?
2019.
2019 was the same year.
I don't know if we talked about it in the last episode. I was talking about it with someone. But 2019 had so many good movies.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we're talking about that. We're talking about, that in the morning the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 was a banger year for movies.
This was the same year that Marriage Story came out, and Scarlett Johansson was also
she
just killed it. 2019 was her
year,
year,
bro.
bro.
I'm pretty sure. Sure she got awards for both movies.
Quick sidetrack.
Or at least it was nominated.
Quick sidetrack. But can we talk about how Scarlett Johansson didn't win Actress of the Decade, but woman who with no emotion, Twilight Girl, won Actress of the Decade, bro.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. Won no emotion. What was she in that was like she deserved to be Actress of the Decade? She is never.
I'd say she actually gets a lot of flack because she's actually done some good work. It's more so harder to you see obviously the biggest thing that you see her in is Twilight, which is probably the worst thing that she's been in. But like Robert Pattinson, they both done really good stuff.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
I don't know if she's deserving of that title though, because I can't think of that much stuff.
Yeah, like of the decade, she was in mostly Twilight movies. Let's see if she was in Charlie's Angels. No one saw that. Snow White and the Huntsman. Like I'm looking at these movies no, that wasn't even in the decade. I'm looking all just 2010 and on. Like she wasn't in anything I can say that like I genuinely wanted to watch. Like none of these movies like were even on my radar that she was in.
I know. That's why I have difficulty even coming up with like a movie she was in besides Twilight.
Because she wasn't anything.
She isn't a bad actor. I'll say that, but I don't think she's deserving of that.
Yeah, no. Scarlett's killing it.
But I don't know
I'm thinking about Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson's been in a lot of good work in the last decade.
Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence, Viola Davis. So many actresses I can think over her. I think those three right there are probably the big of the decade. Viola Davis, Scarlett Johansson, and Jennifer Lawrence. I'm trying to think of some other actresses like who would kill
I want to put Zendaya up to just because she's so popular at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the whole of 2010s because Zaya kind of
Zendaya
kind of
is
towards
too
the later
new.
half. Yeah, I kind of feel like the latter half is like when she started popping off.
She's got Euphoria.
Yeah.
She did pretty good in Euphoria, though.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, she kind of killed it.
But that's since 2019,
she was in
though.
Malcolm and Mary.
Yeah.
That like
That's 2020.
noir movie.
Like
Either way, I think we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about that. We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah.
But either way, Scarlett Johansson's a great actress.
Love us some Scarlett Johansson.
Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit in the same year, which is pretty impressive.
But let's move on to another character relationship I want to talk about. Now let's talk about Jojo and Adolf. That little character relationship. And this is where I was getting my tinfoil
It's a
hat.
pretty unique one as well.
Let's talk about what's simple here. A thing that Adolf does often is offers Jojo a cigarette. I haven't watched any review videos on Jojo because I went to this podcast before I went and did all that. What do we think that means? Because he does it quite a few times throughout the movie, and he's
besides it being funny, maybe that's his way of like kind of like convincing him to like go deeper into like the Nazi ideology. That might be some sort of like weird like motif, I guess, or I don't know.
I mean, like my same response. I don't think a lot of there's deeper stuff, but I don't think a lot of things in this movie have deep meanings like that. I just think it's more so comedic timing and kind of showing like being an adult while also being a child. Like
I'm gonna have
like Hitler is very like childish. He's like portrayed as like this goofy guy, not to really like be feared of.
I'm going to have to slightly disagree and say I think it is a bit deeper than that. And here's where I'm going to go why. Because this relationship, I'm going to say, is probably the exact opposite of his relationship with his mother, right? Because what is his mother trying to do? She's trying to keep him young, keep him like as a child, not have him grow up too fast, what she's trying to do. And then Hitler is trying to get him to keep on the Nazi side, you know, do everything for the Nazis, and almost kind of, he's like, you need to be a man, you need to do this and do stuff like that. And he was just like, he's kind of growing him up. And I think This is what I'm saying. These are two symbols that go against each other. Tying the shoes and the cigarette. I think when he keeps offering him a cigarette, I think that's him trying to get him to like kind of grow up more and like kind of take over that Nazi mantle. And then this constantly, he's like, Jojo mentions he still doesn't know how to tie his shoes. And it's him constantly tying his shoes, I think, is his mom trying to keep him young. Show him like, it's like there's still more to life. There's still more to be young about. Some more things to be happy about. Well, Hitler's trying to be like, nah, take the, would you like a cigarette? All you gotta do is this.
Okay, well, I agree with that. I thought you were gonna go into like some super convoluted thing about the cigarettes.
Nah, that's like what I was thinking.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's about being a child, but also trying to be an adult.
And I think
weird twisted time and setting.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, it is a weird time to be a child because they have child soldiers. They're out there. My man Yorkie out there, he getting it in. They got him with the M16 strapped to the thigh, like he running through Chicago. Like that John's crazy. Like
Yorkie is so funny in this movie.
I love
Yorkie. Yeah, Yorkie's great.
He needs to be in more stuff, man. He needs to be in more stuff.
Yeah, I want to see both of the kids in this movie and stuff, or all three, I guess technically. Yeah. She's kind of an adult at this point, but
bro, Yorkie,
all the kid actors.
Yorkie and Jojo
really
are so
funny. I want to see them more. Yeah.
Like, I would give them both just a huge hug. And it's crazy. They're like 14.
Probably younger than that.
Yes, I thought like, these kids look like they're 8, bro. They're 14.
Well, that's also like 2 years ago, and they filmed. It was like another year, so it's like they were like 11.
I mean, he still looks like that now. Like,
yeah.
He looks like a child.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the kid actors generally are older than you think that they are.
That's why they're so
good. They look
good.
Younger than what they are.
Yeah, that's why they're so good. That's what makes them a great child actor. But yeah, so that's what I was talking about.
So great.
So yeah, like that relationship with Hitler. So I think like his relationship with Hitler is like the inverse relationship that he has with his mother, and I think that works like that dichotomy, if you will. It's a cool inverse thing that they got going on there. I think Taika does a splendid job, if you will, of showcasing that. So yeah, well, what thoughts do you guys have on that?
Right?
I thought you were gonna say something. I mean, I didn't really think much. I didn't really think much of the cigarette until like just went in depth about it. I mean, yes, Yusef, I'll give you credit. You made a valid point right there for sure. I can't think of anything else to say. I think you wrapped it up nicely.
All right. So we'll move on from that relationship. Let's move on to all these relationships. Pretty much involve JoJo. Well, he's the main character of the story. So
yeah,
it's
sure.
JoJo and his different people that he meets throughout his experiences.
So let's do JoJo and
what about Elsa? That's
Elsa.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. JoJo and Elsa. So
that's like the main duo.
Yeah. So Tim, I'll let you take this one. Go for it. Let's talk about it.
Well, I mean, Elsa is really what makes him question everything he knows in life, because everything he knows in life is now being contradicted by Elsa, the first Jew he's ever spoken to, at least knowingly, with Hitler in the picture.
Yeah.
And so everything he's been told up to this point has been fact, but in reality it's like these lies made to which are obviously like jokes throughout the movie about Jews like having horns and being lizard people and stuff, but at the same time there's a certain level of historical accuracy that happened at that time. But it's crazy how like these kids were taught that, and then he meets Elsa, who begins to she starts off being very aggressive towards him, rightfully so, being a Nazi, but she kind of opens up and understands he's a kid, and teaches him that, you know, Jews and all other people are just like everyone else. We're all normal. We're all the same. We're all human. And it's a really great dynamic between the two. And there's also a little bit of a romance bit in there, which is done really cute and well.
Yeah, it is kind of done well. It's kind of like that childish like romance where it's just like. The only way I can explain. Have you guys seen Gravity Falls?
Yeah.
It's like
with Dipper.
Yeah, with Dipper and Wendy. Yeah. That's
also what a great show, man. They gotta bring that shit
back. Bro, how I feel. Okay, we're not gonna get into Gravity Falls, but if we want to do an episode dedicated purely to Gravity Falls, I'm so in, because I love that show. It's actually amazing. But I'm only bringing that up to say that that's like kind of what the relationship reminds me of. Is like that Wendy and Dipper. It's kind of like, you know, like there's clear age difference, but it's kind of cute because, like, you know, he does actually like genuinely like care about this person, and, you know, he's trying.
Because at first he like obviously doesn't, because she's a Jew and like they're supposed to be enemies, but he's like fascinated because she promises to tell him like what Jews are like, and she makes up all these stories that he wants to hear about Jews living in caves and being like having a queen that lays eggs and all this stuff, and like he gets fascinated. But over time, he slowly begins to get these feelings for the girl, and also at that same time is beginning to question everything he's learning. And so you really start to understand how Jojo's feeling as his whole world's changing, but he's also becoming more accepting and understanding of the Elsa and the world around him, which plays really nicely.
I like the way that they showed that he kind of has like a little crush. It, like visually, like they zoomed in on Jojo's stomach, and like you can see like butterflies within his stomach.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool.
I thought that was really cool. I like that shot for some reason.
Almost Wes Anderson like.
Yeah.
Just very.
The colors.
Very artsy and
now that you say that, the colors
very,
gave me
very
really big Wes Anderson
and
vibes.
Everything's framed nice. This movie's just a very nice looking movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. A thing about that whole, and I think the relationship could also be characterized. It's kind of like the little crush, but it also reminds you of like a younger brother, older sister type relationship, because like she's kind of like teasing him, and like he kind of just like almost kind of like wants to be part of like the little older kid squad, and she's like, nah, like you kind of like see that little relationship there, and it's just like she's kind of filling the roles that the I'm not roles, but the void that Inga, his actual sister Inga, filled before her untimely demise. And you can kind of see that, and it's just like it's like kind of cute, but it's also like kind of sad. Like I don't know, it's just like when I tell you, like we'll at the end we'll wrap up, we'll really explain like how like he really is just like such a like in-depth and very like sad character when you look at the whole situation. But I thought that relationship was really well done, and just like kind of like how he changes, like how she really kind of like. But I think like the moment that like really stuck out to me is when he was writing it was the first letter from Nathan, and she told and it was like he was like, oh yeah, it's like I met this new girl and you're ugly and I don't like you, blah blah blah, and like he makes her cry,
which is cute, but also like it's great. Just the little dialogue bits. They fill their comedic role, but also the emotional.
And like it really, because like children actually will do stuff like that, and like it's a level of realism to it, and like he makes her cry. Then he's like, oh damn, like I actually hurt her feelings, like. That's when he sees her more.
The second letter from he pretends to be her ex-boyfriend. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, but
I think he says, I don't want to break up with you because I don't want you to kill yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's like the moment where he realizes, oh, maybe she's more than like just a Jew. She's like an actual person with feelings, and her crying like actually made him kind of see that. And I think that's like really when he kind of begins to have that change of heart.
I think that's the big theme of the whole movie. Just that, what you just said.
Yeah, bro, looks like you had something to say. You got a big idea there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the general theme of the story. It's like, I guess, it kind of opens up. It welcomes you to have a conversation about these sort of like topics. It's like, don't be boxed in with an ideology. It's like, talk about it, like explore. Like, don't be so closed-minded. I feel that's what Taika I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about. There you go. I think that he was going for.
It really flows off the tongue.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm the one that should be struggling. I'm the white guy over here.
So I think anything else you want to say about Elsa and Jojo's relationship? Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm curious. What do you think happens after that? Like, I don't know. I think it's time to get to the ending. I think we're getting close to the 1 hour mark. What do you think happens after this?
I'm assuming they probably leave Germany. And they probably go live in France somewhere, and they're just kind of on their own. And I'm assuming they kind of just like hang out with each other now, like probably just having to take care of each other. Seeing as both his parents are pretty much dead, sisters like he literally has no family left. Like that was quite. I think
he said it. It was, I have nobody left.
Yeah, like.
And she's like, "Nah, dog, you got me." And it's like, damn, that's crazy.
That's okay. So that's why I want to talk about Jojo's character is because like this is what I mean. So I want to bring up two more things. Like before, like we kind of like wrap this up, but like the moment that like almost made me cry is when he sees his mom's shoe untied and there's a butterfly there, right? And I know you guys have seen Silence of the Lambs. They talk about the moth symbolizes change, so does the butterfly, and the butterfly floats at a screen and in color, and like it's very saturated to the butterfly's color, so like you really have to notice it. And I'm like that. I felt like that was Taika's showing us that this is Jojo having the full 180. He has now fully changed his heart entirely. That's why we saw him walking around the town really trying to figure out, like, am I on the right side? What does this all mean? Then he sees his mom there. I don't know when's the last time he saw his mom before then, but he just sees his mom just hanging there, and he's just like, that's how my niggas did me.
Then he goes back home and stabs the girl.
Because he's like,
he's just so upset.
He's frustrated.
Like, yeah.
Like, he literally, that was like the last thing he had. And they literally just took that from him, bro.
Imagine.
I know, like, partially thinks it's her fault because, like, she died protecting her. Is upset. And,
but she didn't get killed because of her, right? I feel she just got caught somewhere else. Because they didn't really clarify that.
She just got caught, like, helping, like, against the.
Yeah, but it wasn't Elsa directly. It was, some other.
Yeah.
No, but she was like putting throughout the movie. She was like spreading propaganda. I don't know if that.
There was a scene when he was in the robot costume.
So, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that.
And it's just like, it's just that shit was like oh my god, bro. Like,
imagine Jojo actually killed Elsa. Like he got back and just stabbed her, bro.
Because I knew he was never gonna do it because that wouldn't bring him anything. Like that's even one more person he doesn't have. Like damn, like he like.
Yeah, he didn't like really stab her. He just like was like a half stab out of
just
anger.
Like you're the reason why they're dead, but like damn, it's just like they really jar.
But yeah, that's a really big emotional scene because throughout the movie they're like showing her dancing in the shoes, feet. And that's a big important thing for growing up. Yeah,
they had this like
it shows her how liveful she is and all that with the colorfulness and dancing and all that, and then so you get the scene where Jojo, I think it's kind of dull. It's like a montage of like how the war is getting worse in Germany. And how everything's getting worse, and for this moment, I don't think there's much where we see his mother, and that's also partially because maybe she was dead for a bit. But like earlier on, we see this like plaza where they hang traders, and that's where he sees his mom. And we see her shoes, which is really symbolic for all the good and everything. And Jojo growing up, and he takes the shoes back. And yeah, it's a very deep scene in a movie that's a comedy. First of all, you normally don't get this amount of emotion in comedies.
Not at
I
all.
feel like that's not.
Well, it's because
it's
not a natural.
And this movie pulled it off really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the emotional, the sad bits are just as good, if not maybe better than like the funny bits.
Well, it's because this is not just a standard comedy. This is I would call this a dark comedy because like there's multiple layers to this. Like it's one of those movies where I say it's funny, but the purpose of this movie isn't to make you laugh. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's very different from like your standard comedy. But that is like where it really changes for me, and that really made me think. Like when you zoom out, so that's what happens. So that's why I want to talk about Jojo's characters. When you really zoom out on a whole lot of things, where the story starts off and where he ends, like this is a 10-year-old boy who literally survives a grenade, gets scarred for life, loses like pretty much like not feeling in his other leg, but can barely walk with his other leg is limp. His friend is sent off to war. Half his family is dead when it starts. His mom gets killed, and like everything he knew and loved, he watches his country fall apart and just be destroyed. And he like everything like he's like knew up to that point is just like wrong, and it's just whole ideology changes, and he's constantly just watching other people die. It's just like
I would add to that the fact that he doesn't have a father and he lost his purpose when he was sent back home. Because the whole thing was like I gotta do my man's Hitler good, and then he just gets blown the fuck up.
That's what I mean. Like
yeah.
His whole world falls apart, literally. Like, literally, the town he lives in literally just gets crumbled. His whole idea of what the world is falls apart. The person he looked up to killed himself because he didn't want to fight for his country anymore. Like, the person he looked at as the strongest person in the world killed himself. And he's just like, damn. Like, everything he, literally...
Yeah, like, that's not possible.
Even to, like, down to everything he has, literally down to his ideology, was taken from him. And it's just like... where the hell does he go from here? And that's why I'm saying the movie ends at such a weird spot because it ends upbeat, but like I feel like there's still more to the story because like literally where does he go from here? And you guys asked me what happens after, and like I gave you like my answer of like what I think happens, but like I honestly don't know. Like I have no idea like where someone goes like as a 10-year-old boy from this situation.
That's all they did was dance.
No, that's all they did was dance. Probably because I just have to assume that they got killed after that because like
what? No. Oh. That's definitely. It's
like a missile just comes in from the sky and just blows up the whole block. Oh man.
No, I'm sorry. You gotta understand. This kid is screwed for the rest of his life. Like he's done.
Mentally, yeah.
Bro, if he didn't
have schizophrenia before this, he's gonna have schizophrenia after this. Like this, my man is done for. Like,
bro, what are? That's not.
Yusef kind of speaking facts, though. I mean, where does he go realistically?
Like, yeah, like
he's not alone anymore, but it's kind of like
he's not alone, but he might as well be. Like, it's him and like we'll say what? How old is Elsa? What 13, 14? Like, what is she going to do? Like, what is she gonna like?
All I'm gonna say is I think things get better for
I'd like to think that
have a happy life.
Maybe, but if we gotta look at some history now, what happens like when Germany falls apart? It just kind of gets worse until
Germany.
They take refuge in France or the U.S. Okay,
they're for sure not going to the U.S. They're for sure not going France.
Okay,
France maybe,
France or something.
But they can't stay in Germany because one gets occupied by the U.S., the other half gets occupied by Russia, and being on either side really kind of just sucked after that. So maybe they go to France.
Like, to everybody, listen, don't get me wrong. The ending was like upbeat, it's super happy. Like when I first saw the ending, like I literally almost like a couple of like tears just started to come up because I was like, damn, my man's made it. Mm-hmm. But like it's a super like happy ending, but it's just like you got to think of like the realistic, like the outcomes. Like where does he go?
They literally end on an upbeat quote, so that's how if they're gonna end on a happy quote, it says like stuff like who cares, whatever they say, just keep going forwards. That means that them two made it. Okay, that quote wasn't there for a reason. that quote basically is saying they live on and have a happy life. Or something
I found the quote. Just for everybody listening, the quote was, "Let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final." That was kind of the way he wrapped it up.
That quote hit me in my heart. I read that.
Fast.
That John hit
my
me.
God.
That hit me. I was like, yo, those are some powerful words. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They mentioned that author in this the actual story as well.
Rilke.
I think Nathan or something like that.
No feeling is final. That one made me really think. Just in terms of my life and things I got going on in my personal life, and just constant worries and thoughts I have going out through my head. Now it's just thinking about just keep moving forward. Nothing.
Exactly. You just gotta
Yo, you good yourself?
Nah.
You gotta hold on to what's good.
Nah.
You can't hold on to what's bad. You gotta hold on to what's good and just keep going forwards.
Yeah, I really like the ending.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that. Was...
So if that quote is in that movie, that means that them two made it out and had a happy life. Okay, they kept going.
Yeah. You're right, Tim. You're right.
Tim, I'm glad you see it that way because I
optimistic,
cannot see a world in which these two.
I like the choice of song they picked too. They picked David Bowie's "Heroes."
Heroes. That's one of the best. Okay, this is one of my favorite choices of song use. I feel like
Heroes.
Ever. This and "Perks of Being a Wallflower" both use the song and they both use it very well. And I love it. It's great.
The actual meaning of the song is just we can be heroes,
and just two characters, them two, side by side, and they got each other, and they've gone through this. It's just emotional, and it feels great at the end of this. It's they've overcome whatever's happened.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the mother is the one that said dancing is the way of saying you're free. And yes. I like the fact that Elsa, out of all people, saying we should just dance, and then Jojo's I don't know what we're doing, but we're about to dance. And they just start dancing.
Yeah, it's good. Like that. Exactly, like that quote says. They just do what they can in the moment to have a good time, and live and move on forward.
I got a better question for you guys. You think Jojo goes on to kiss a girl because he says that no girl would ever kiss him, so because of his face now.
She kissed him.
When?
Didn't she kiss him?
Nah. Never does.
Okay, well, either way, I feel like they're gonna stay together. They're never gonna kiss or something. Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming since there's at least a 4-year age difference that hopefully they never kiss until they're both of the consenting age of 18. Over that age.
Here at Film Dissection.
Yes.
Hey, I mean that's the same thing in with Aang and Katara. So
I'm gonna say this one time for the people back. I know I said it last episode, but I'm gonna say it again. The thoughts and belief of Tate and Gagen are not shared by other hosts of this podcast. They are his and his alone. Thank you. Because Tim over here wild.
I mean, they would make a pretty good. They would make a cute couple.
Katara can do it. They can do it.
Okay, Brian. I'm gonna have to now say the thoughts and beliefs of Bryan Jiminez are not shared by those at the Film Dissection podcast. Chill. They are his own. Thank you. Y'all not about to get me told.
We didn't even talk about my man's the general. What was his name?
General
the captain.
Captain K. That was also a very emotional scene at the end. Ooh. That was a perfect character arc.
He was just saying, "Good job, buddy. Good job." Just yeet. Just took his jacket, and then starts spitting at him. And next thing you know, you just hear gunshots.
That was such a good scene.
Yeah.
Because this guy obviously is your mom was a good person.
A good.
Like a real good person.
Yeah.
And he actually he saves Jojo and he sacrifices himself because he knows he's a part of this cause. He doesn't like this cause, but he's just in it, and he's fuck
it. You know what's even more messed up is that the Americans were about to murder that little boy. What? And I wrote down that there are no winners in war. There are no good guys in war. Everyone is just as bad. They were running through on their jeeps and their bikes, blasting, about to go hit a lick on a 10-year-old boy. They're about to hit a lick on that kid. They're about to start spraying them down. That shit was about to be crazy, bro. That's actually a new level of draw. So, yeah, that shit was fucked up.
I was about to say, that's just war, bro. But at least he survived at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a great character arc scene, and it was also, probably, that was very emotional on par with the scene with the mother. Because I liked his character a lot.
I wouldn't say it made me as sad, but it definitely was a sad scene. I was like, damn.
Like I said earlier in the episode, the movie is surprisingly touching. You don't see it coming, but it hits you hard.
Yeah, you like this guy, and it's you can appreciate him, and he saves.
He was funny. He was funny as hell.
Everything about it is good. Everything about this movie does stuff well.
Yeah, I think so. I agree as well, man. I'm not gonna lie. So, I'll just touch on this briefly. Do you guys think that the rabbit is a symbol for something? Because I feel like it is. I just can't figure out the rabbit's a symbol for yet.
Well, they were calling him a rabbit.
I know, but it's like the whole idea of being a rabbit.
Hitler kind of like went in depth about the rabbit, if I'm not mistaken.
Like, kind of, but like that wasn't like, I feel like that was more of like Hitler's way of like getting Jojo to do something, not really them explaining what it actually means. I feel like there's a deeper meaning for that.
I'm trying to think of what a rabbit actually does. Like, what is a rabbit known for besides being fast?
Yeah, like jackrabbits. Yeah. I don't know.
And I feel like tying the shoes is also like a bigger symbol for something else.
Yeah, tying the shoes is definitely a thing about like being a kid and also
growing up.
Adult.
Yeah, I think once at the end he's like able to tie the shoe for Elsa. That's his way. That's like the director saying like he's an adult now. Because I guess you kind of assume like once you know how to tie your shoes, you're not an adult, but you know you're growing up. You're at that point where like you're a big kid, you can say.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I like that it was at the end too.
Forwards.
Yeah, like I said, the ending was just great.
The ending was great.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
awesome,
what do we give this movie out of 10, boys?
I give it a 9, dog. I give it a solid 9. I really did.
I give it just below a 10, like 9.5. Like, I really like this movie. Like, the only thing I ding it for is like maybe like some jokes or something. Maybe it could be a little more funny at scenes or something. But like, that's a very minor ding. Like, besides that, I think this movie is practically flawless.
It's a good ass movie.
Yeah.
Like, I just love this movie. It's a very good feeling movie. It's a very unique movie.
Damn, I wonder who.
And it's just very well done.
Who picked it. Damn, sheesh. Man.
Anyways, before Brian gets his cock stroked a little too much, I'd say this movie. I'm gonna give it just a solid 9. It's a really good movie. I liked it a lot.
All right, that's a 9 from each, all three of us. That's probably the highest.
I gave it 9.5.
Highest rating, especially from you, Tim.
Mr. I hated Justice League face ass nigga. Oh
Mr. Taxi Driver is okay.
Just to clarify, I think I'd bump up Justice League to 6. Just for the record to be shown, because I didn't say it on the podcast. I didn't particularly enjoy the movie a lot, but there are some elements I enjoyed. I can appreciate what was done for the movie, so I'd bump it up to 6.
The mouse is plaguing your brain. Why?
But this movie's 9.5. This movie's great.
Anyway, but yeah, this is a great movie. I love Jojo Rabbit. I love Scarlett Johansson. This movie was really it was good.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Would watch again, and I think I'm gonna check out some more Taika Waititi films because
there's another movie of his on Netflix called Hunt for the Wilder People that I want to watch at some point. Maybe we can watch that for the podcast. Who knows?
Maybe.
Not now though. We have to space it out.
So yeah, this is episode 3, right?
Episode
3.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So any final statements before we end this episode?
Scarlett Johansson, call me, dog.
All right. Scarlett, if you out there. Y'all didn't say it back. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Oh shit! You were cutting out.
I'm cutting out?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I heard you cut out. That's why I was kind of like,
Anyways, but you know where we at.
I'll add that editing. Don't worry. I go fix that in post. I got it.
Bet. So we out here. All right, that's all we got to say. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Film Dissection. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends. Share with everyone you know.
And next week we're doing Mortal Kombat. Is that what we're watching?
I don't even know.
Actually, yeah, I'm low-key down for that.
Yeah, because you recommended that, didn't you? That's what you wanted to watch. That was your choice,
right?
Right?
Let's watch it.
It's your choice next.
Mortal Kombat up next.
So y'all heard that here first, folks. Y'all heard that here first. We get Mortal Kombat in next. So it's about to be crazy little podcast. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share it. Everyone you know, and you better share it. Listen, I want to put the camera on me. You see me? I need you to share it. Listen to me. I need you to share this with everyone you know, and I mean everyone. Because if I'm gonna know if you didn't share it, I'm gonna know. So share
we'll find
everyone.
you.
We will find you. Like Liam Neeson said, we will hunt you. So share it. Get us out here. Get us to 100 subscribers, please.
This is not a joke.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, my life depends on this. Like, I got people. Like, I got people on my back. I told them this shit was gonna be big. So, yeah, get us there, guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. See you.
This has been episode 3. Have a great day. Bye.
Yep. Peace.